Definitely not a minute late. I mean, who's really keeping track of that anyway? Not me. Oh, and I don't have my headset on. That's okay. I could turn it on. I won't. Well, the main theme, of course, it's dry week. Greetings. My name is Brian. Welcome to KillCo, Untold Musings. With the beginning of dry week, which I should have announced a little over 3 days ago at least. Wednesday would have been good. Donner Pass whiskey. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for bringing your time and attention here. As always, it is greatly appreciated. Welcome. I haven't set anything up because I got distracted. So you're going to watch me fumble around with that for a minute. What's worse is I started to do it and then I got distracted and then I didn't. I'm about to black out. Nothing's wrong. Really? Hey. Didn't turn that off. I have to do that so then I can do this. Something I should do before the stream starts. But yeah, dry week. Announcing it earlier would have been good. And what's silly is I knew it was going to be a dry week earlier already, except I got confused because the Whiskey Bolt said it was going to be dry week. And then I thought, well, that's strange. I thought we just did that a little while ago. And then the Whiskey Tribe also announced it's going to be dry week. And then I went, oh, it is actually going to be dry week. For one moment, I was like, maybe they're doing separate dry weeks now. No. So that lands me with announcing it suddenly that it's dry week. Huzzah. Oh, mother. I'm getting angry at myself today, apparently. I was supposed to take this medication 3 hours ago. Ugh. That's what I get for having a semi-relaxing day. Not really. But I did something nice for myself. I went out and took a bike ride. Biking Bourbon still hasn't come back, so I can't tell him. But someday he'll know. And I'm finally back on the bike. And even if that's the case, well, I'm not drinking any bourbon right now. So, well. And as always, I'm drinking a non-alcoholic beer. So we have Biro, favorite of mine, as you all know. What are you drinking? It doesn't have to be non-alcoholic. This is one of those things I promote the idea. Then you get to decide if you want to go along with it or not. It's fairly simple. Fairly simple. Oof. I'm getting the background music going. To tell you what happened exactly, hello. I'm not pleased with the May's Mental Health Awareness Month logo that I got going here. So I need to change that. And I attempted to try to change it quickly before the stream started, except I had about 15 minutes before the stream started. So as you can imagine, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I wanted it to happen, it didn't happen. This is the one I used last year. So we're just using that again. For now, it needs to go, and I still haven't even done the video for the May's Mental Health Month thing. I could use the one from last year again, but I can't because when I look at the ones I did last year, this wasn't behind me. And I can't have that. I got to redo it. And I have an idea. I'm going to work on that soon. I did get a video out recently, this morning, actually. And that went well. That was something I patched together real quick. Janky as it was. I know. Like, I'm not drinking to begin with. But blame the blame the Texans for this one. John McElwain, welcome. Thank you for bringing your time and attention here. It is always greatly appreciated. Gotta open up my bureau. Yep. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for being here. Chin chin. Yep. I just bring the attention to Dry Week, but it's the Whiskey Vault and the Whiskey Tribe, the ones who I originated doing it with, and I've been doing it with them for going on 6 years now. I'm not really sure when they started, so that does change things slightly. But for the most part, it's never worked out right for them. It's always like it lands on a holiday or it lands on a big something going on somewhere, and it's hilarious. The reason I didn't announce it earlier, of course, was because I am on a complete dry everything for right now. I tend to not be sure about when it's actually going to be until it's actually happening. Bureau open for business. Exactly. Delightful. Whiskey Advent Calendar, the Redbridge 27. May 6th. Oh, I'm glad you got to enjoy it. Balbear 12 last, by the way. Sounds lovely. Again, whatever you're drinking, let me know. I'm drinking Bureau, as I often do, thankfully. I've also been spending part of the day looking over maps. Maps and locations, man. Google Maps is great, but it's not really good at telling you how to plan a trip. I found that out the hard way. And it can tell me where to go. I tested out the big trip from, New England to Oregon. It will show me which way to go. It will show me nothing about what I need to know along the way. Like, show me all the gas stations. It has a seizure and then doesn't work. Show me the gas stations, rest stops, all of that. I need to know. I need to know quite a bit of information before I do anything. And once again, I hope those of you who saw it enjoyed the video I did today. It's been too long since I actually did a video. Shorts don't count in my head. This is an actual formatted video that I edited myself. Haven't done any editing in a while, so I hope that seemed all right. But for the most part, it's going to be janky. I'm keeping it like that. If I can make it simple, where it's just me turning on the camera every once in a while and being like, this is where I'm at now, this is what I'm doing next, then it'll work just fine. I do have to figure out how I'm going to edit video on the road. Granted, I know that seems like a bad idea. I feel like it's a bad idea, honestly, because it doesn't make much sense in this very short trip I'm going to do next week, which is now becoming less and less a next week thing and more a matter of days. But this is going to be about a 3-day trip at best. So I will be sleeping 2 nights. That's the thing. The big the video I did today about I slept in my car overnight. It got me halfway through, 1 night in my car. All right. Can I do 2 nights in my car? Probably. Can I do another night in my car? Can I do 2 nights in my car somewhere I've never been before and no way of getting back to my apartment? Oh, yeah, sure. I just need to know where rest stops are. I think I'm going to rely very heavily for both of those nights on finding a rest stop area, staying there, so the restroom is right there. And that's that's the biggest concern, is restrooms. Where am I going to brush my teeth? Where am I going to wash my hands? Where am I going to use the restroom? Toilet, specifically. Creature comforts, man. Like the basics. The stuff we take for granted all the time. Suddenly you're on the road. Those are not available to you. At least not easily. And water. You're supposed to drink a lot of water every day. And there's the tentative idea. I'll have the supplies with me. But the tentative idea of taking a shower at some kind of shower stop truck stop place. The hope for the long-term trip, of course, is the if I've raised enough funds. So again, part of this process is everyone who wants to support me and see me do it. That's encouraging. You know, if everyone's like, "Yeah, we can give you a hotel for a night or two," it's like, "Cool." I still have to do it, don't I? But having a hotel stop would be... It's going to take me a whole week to get there. That's the thing. That's the thing that keeps boggling my mind, is I'm going across the country, planning to go across the country, and I would likely need to stop at a hotel twice. I feel like that's sensible. Because it's going to take me 2 days of travel before I start to feel real gross. Real gross. 2 days, feeling gross. And having a hotel stop to do, you know, shower and shave and be like, oh yes, I'm clean now. Sleep in a bed. Oh, glorious. The positive thing now is the sleeping in the car isn't too bad. It's not... I have to be pretty limber, which I am. I mean, I have no real problem getting in and out of that bed to some extent, but I can't do it quickly, and I need to get some kind of Gorilla Tape or duct tape or something, because there is a lip that's actually pointed and sharp. Right, so like I'm lying here, this is where it is. And if I move, if I like try to take my legs out and accidentally slam it with my knee or my elbow or something, I could slice myself bad, and I do not want to do that. So, microphone, please stop. So I do realize everything I'm trying to do is a lot of fundraising to a degree, which is good. Again, if you guys want to support it, you want to see it, no problem. And especially with what next week is going to do, it's also going to force me into doing virtual stuff with my phone. Not only for streams and shorts and that kind of thing, but appointments. Like I have an appointment and I have to see my therapist every week because, and that's always virtual for the most part. I only have to go see her in person once a month. But doing that on my phone will be very odd. Very odd. It'll be funny if talking to my therapist, like, where are you at? I'm somewhere in Maine. I don't know. The thought for this trip, and this isn't like a definite, but there's a song called King of the Road. And there's a word in there. There's a phrase that's said in the song, Destination Bangor, Maine. And that is a place that actually exists. Bangor, Maine. Bangor. Old worn-out suits and shoes. Don't pay no union dues. I got old snuggies I have found. So I saw that place and I thought, oh, that came to mind. Wouldn't it be funny if I went there? It's pretty far away. There's not a lot to do there. However, there is a Paul Bunyan statue. And really, what else do I need to know to go there? Take the picture with the Paul Bunyan statue and be like, I'm here, I did it. Bangor, Maine. I'm going to go back home now. The real trick is going to be figuring out how far I can go and how long. Because the general thought process is... Sorry, this is another travel musing stream because this is a big deal. But the main theme here is announcing the whole dry week, which I'm doing, which won't be hard. I've been doing dry weeks. I've been doing dry many weeks. I'm a man of means, by no means, king of the road. Yep. I figure I'll have to sing that song when I get there. That's kind of all, the whole travel thing is all encompassing. Like, I am thinking about just that because it is a huge step. It's like putting myself in a very, 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 very stressful position. for entertainment purposes. I do. My brother actually works for AAA now. So, tour books for states. We said, you know what? If I stop, I'm going to stop at rest stops, and I guarantee they're going to have pamphlets still, so I can find out anything I need to know. And I'm just looking on Google Maps mostly, kind of eyeballing things and picking out what might be interesting. I'm picking out restaurants that look interesting too, but I can't afford to eat at restaurants. The restaurants are now too expensive. They've always been too expensive, but now it's even worse for reasons. But we'll see. We'll see if I can convince myself to use my credit card again. Which I really shouldn't. But, you know, content. It's a tax write-off. Everything I'm doing now is a tax write-off. It's the only way. So this very, very expensive piece of equipment I'm getting, hopefully tomorrow, tax write-off. It's all about the channel, man. And I'm supposed to do that. Mama KillCo has been like informed me. It's like, you need to keep track of these things. I'm like, oh, I do? I need to keep track of mileage? Okay. It's wild. I'm not good at the concept of preparing and noting things down now for next year. Like, that's a fantasy to me. I was like, I don't know if I'll make it to next year. That's my thought process. Yeah, business expense. True. It's true. It is not a lie. Whiskey bottles, obviously a business expense, of course. It's for the channel, for my business. That can get dangerous. And I do wonder if other channels are doing that. I mean, if it's an option, and if it's a real option, they're doing it. Like, all these bottles of whiskey we bought are for our business. I have to ask. I've asked like Chad and Sarah. I think they're the ones I would be like, you guys bought a lot of bottles. Is that a tax write-off? Wow. Good stuff. But I'll be spending a portion of the weekend going over a lot of this stuff in my head. I can. But those are only direct. Thankfully, my car has a trip tracking thing, so I can just reset one of those, and then it'll tell me the exact amount of miles I've done without having to, you know, nitpick. They can tell me like how far, like if I say point A to point B, it'll tell me. But if it's like point A to point B, but I went in all these other different places and stopped and went over here, and I don't want to try and pull that together and figure it out. Either way, it's easy. That's the nice thing. Business expense. Hey, yeah, right? I wouldn't be, well, first of all, wouldn't be able to afford that ever, business expense or not. That would be a community effort. Like if all of you wanted me to do a barrel pick, there's only one way for that to happen, and it's not by me buying it myself. I would either have to, the thought has occurred to me that I could, you know, ask Irene Tan. Like, Irene Tan, can I be part of your single barrel pick? As in, you buy it, and I sell it on my Patreon. Like, the money would go to her, of course. But maybe I could get a small cut. Maybe I could just get a tiny piece. Because she can't sell out of her store, you know? We got to find those little, like, loopholes and little what's legal and what isn't. Because even sending alcohol via any means is a bit sketchy, because the United States has outdated laws, and they haven't bothered to change them yet. Working on it, getting there, but oh, so slowly. Ow. It's the selling of the bottles where it becomes tricky. The country wants its taxes. It's all about taxes, everyone. Didn't you know? I got some money back for my tax return, but not really. Mom and Papa KillCo had to fit the bill, and it was a large amount. I think it was like $500 to cover my tax stuff because, and this is why I'm now checking expenses and checking mileage because of all the stuff I did last year. I didn't keep track of any of it because I didn't know. I didn't think about it. I have to keep it at the forefront of my mind for anything I do. Any purchases I make, any travel I do, any expenses from the travel, specifically like hotel stays. It's a business. It's a business. Anyone know that song? Whoa. No, I couldn't, like, I don't know how barrel picks even work. That is fantasy to me. That is not a reality. That is something people with lots of money do because it's just something for them to do with their money. I don't know how Irene Tan does it. I mean, I know her business is a liquor store, so I can understand that. It's an investment. And of course, people think very highly of her picks. Otherwise, well, wouldn't really get very far. That's why I'm very skeptical about store picks in general. Just as a store pick, because it's not like Irene Tan. It's her store. It's her picks. I know her. She's at her store. But when it's store picks like Total Wine, or even the local one, the one I go to occasionally is Cappy's, it's like a chain. There's no going there and seeing the person who picked it and talking to them about it. It's just, it's their barrel pick. It costs $80. I think that's the distinguishing thing. Like if, with Still Austin, it's Nancy Fraley. She's not there, mind you, but I know who she is. I've talked to her. She's even been in the chat room occasionally. She knows Irene. Irene knows her. They get along swell as far as I know. I hope they both do a barrel pick someday. That's the big, let's have that happen. That'd be amazing. But she works with Still Austin, so that's why I have at least 2 Still Austin barrel picks that she did. You gotta have some personality, some expertise, not just store pick with nothing behind it. I don't like that. Now, if you go to the distillery and buy a bottle there, that's a whole different thing. That's more than just a barrel pick. That is something they are selling to you as a visitor, and they are lovely. I'm thinking specifically of Maker's Mark, honestly. Going to their distillery is amazing. I will do it every chance I can. If I go to Kentucky, I want to go there. And I want to take the tour. I've taken the tour before. I want to do it again. It's a nice tour. It's a beautiful place. You will lose your cell signal, so keep that in mind. Why do you think I like it so much? It's in the middle of nowhere. It is not downtown. Ugh. Delish. I am looking forward to the idea of going and visiting distilleries again and visiting other channels, which of course is something that has to be postponed to when I will make the decision about drinking again. The decision will be, if things are fine, which I haven't, I'd like to say I'm anticipating it will be. No, I'm not. My mindset is I'll never be able to drink anything again. That's what my brain is saying. Positive, thinking of things positively. But the idea will be, I will be very, very keenly watching my alcohol intake to an extent that I think cannot be understated. If I do a whiskey stream, it will be once to twice, maybe, a month. Videos, once a month, if at all. Because videos are still hard to make, by the way. I've been taking a long-term hiatus from them, and I come back to them, and the video I did for today wasn't too bad. It was still some work, but it wasn't too bad. And I have other videos I want to get done, but I just haven't been able to push myself into doing it because I don't like editing that much. I know editors out there who are good at editing are making bank right now with all the channels and all the people who are paying for their channels to be made. or having their content made or edited, sorry, because that's where the money is. Anyone who does that, more power to them. Editing is hard. But it's me doing it myself, I like to think, gives it that pizzazz. A little bit of like my personal touch because I'm the one who had to do it. I did it. Wow. Exactly. Yeah. That's the hope to do that with Four Leaf. That's the hope to do that with Whiskey Mountains. That's the hope to do that in Texas. I'd love to actually talk to the people who do the distilling and such in Crowded Barrel specifically, which wouldn't be hard. I've been there a few times. It's just a matter of getting it situated and they have to give the okay that they can handle it because they're busy people with lots to do. But if I could sit down with a live stream with Brianna, that'd be hilarious. Rex doesn't like doing live streams with other people, as far as I understand it. It's a lot of work. Like, they're doing other things. So it's not so much they don't want to do it, it's just they have other priorities first. But that'd be funny. Doing a live stream with Daniel, that'd be cool. Doing a live stream from the vault, I've done that. That's fun for me. And that's the other big thing about like stopping drinking for a year. It's like, I have access to the whiskey vault. What the hell? Please let me do my research is all. And I could do my research. I could sip and spit. That's still a thing. But overall, I don't miss drinking, which is funny. Which is a very strange thing to say. It's like, I really like whiskey, but it's not something I really miss. I get, at a certain point when you just stop drinking for a while, you're not thinking about it anymore. The only thing I'm thinking about when it comes to drinking is what kind of non-alcoholic drink there is that I could have. Podcast could work too. That is an option. I've considered doing just chat podcast stuff. It's mainly been, introspective stuff about myself and the channel for the most part. Ow. We'll see. We will. Speaking of guests, and speaking of the Crowded Barrel, Sonny is going to be back on the channel on Sunday, barring any sudden surprises. And oddly enough, the last time he was here on the channel was also when there was a dry week. Not planned. I just knew there was big stuff happening on their end, and I wanted to talk to them about it. And the easiest way to do that is to talk to the executioner. He will be on the channel on Sunday. Again, barring any surprises. I always get a little sketched out when I have a guest because I have to figure out how to do the guest thing again. It's worked fine so far, but sometimes it gets weird. Probably be nice to talk to him. That basically, they have a new establishment on their property that opened called Alchemy. I've been in there. I've seen it. It wasn't officially open at the time, but it looks amazing. It looks like I would love to hang out there again. I've already thought in my mind where I would like to sit. I did that last year when I was at Crowded Barrel for the Bastards Ball. I went in there, I'm like, exactly where would I sit for this place? I'd be near the bar. I'd have to know where the bathroom is. I wouldn't want any doors behind me. I wouldn't want any windows behind me. Eventually, I think I settled on a seat at the bar because that's the easiest thing to do, because one thing I like to do is I like to watch the bartender do their job. I like to watch the zing, the go, people enjoying themselves, getting their drinks, all that stuff. And if you're just aside from that and not directly in it, you can, one, have a chat with the bartender every once in a while, and two, just enjoy the whole atmosphere better, as I feel, without having people talk to you. Like, I don't like having a lot of people coming at me all at once. But one of the nights I had the most fun, and it wasn't like anything was happening with me. I was just staying at the crowd. I was staying on campus at Wizard Academy, so I was at Crowded Barrel, and there was a wedding event that happened And technically it was, closed. But, I'm staying on campus. They're open. I'm not ordering drinks or anything. I'm just sitting there minding my business, watching things happen. I spent most of the day in there hanging out with everyone behind the bar. To the extent I could. They were working. I was just there. And then I kind of wedding crashed because I was on the campus. It was either hang out at Crowded Barrel or be in my room or be in the vault. But I think the vault might have been off limits that night for whatever reason. I'm going to sneeze. Ugh. That's a yucky feeling. Ugh. But one of the fun things I did was being able to engage with Brianna and Pena and sort of watch things unfold, watch this wedding party happen. And I also got a shot for free. I think I got 2 shots for free, actually, because I was just there. And for whatever reason, people are always happy to see a guy with a handlebar mustache. That's it. You're like, oh, your mustache is amazing. I'm going to buy you a drink. It's like, okay, sure. It's good stuff. So my enjoyment comes from observation rather than engagement. I will engage at my leisure. Leisure. But it can be exhausting. So the hope, again, distilleries, people who work at distilleries. My problem with any of it is I have to know the person to an extent before we do any kind of engaging. So it's been great to have other channels on here, but having a head distiller at a distillery that I don't know too much about, that feels weird. I could talk from the guys from Iron Root since I met them in person. That sort of thing, I have to actually test the waters. It's like, can I handle dealing with you? I can. All right, we'll talk. It sounds like a very snooty thing to do, but it's like I have certain things that I have to know just before everything happens. That's on me. That's not anything about the other person. It's just I have my own feelings, my own quirks. I am I like to think I could be labeled as eccentric. That's fine. Sounds a lot better than mentally unwell. So with that, I think most of you have set up what's in your drinks already. What are you drinking? And I want to lean back into the whole travel thing. Because like I said, it's all encompassing. It's the only thing I'm thinking about. Now that it's like less than a week. It'll be next Thursday, I believe. Next Thursday will be out. So the idea is I will start out on Wednesday. So I have a haircut at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. After said haircut, I will leave and start driving. And that's it. I will start driving up towards Maine. I should be there that day. At least I should be able to get to Portland in that stint. And then the next day, I'll probably putter around the town a little bit. Or travel more, like more drive further to Bangor, Maine, but I don't know if that's actually going to be feasible because I have to make sure I have enough time for the drive back. And that won't be stopping anywhere else, you see? So it'll be like one easy drive, stay in that vicinity. Then the day of after that, I'll hang around that area a little more, drive some more, get to my next destination, stay there. Next day, hang out in that area a little bit. And then I have to go all the way back. And knowing, I believe I looked, Bangor, Maine was at least 6 hours straight up. Let me verify that. So I'm starting to think it might be too far. Like as much as I'd like to go there for the amount of time in the stint, it might be too much. I need to be keenly aware of my own limits. And those limits can happen fast. I don't know. There's Bangor. Bangor, Bangor, Maine. But that is where the Paul Bunyan thing is. Oh yeah, let me get there by bicycle. What are you doing? It's because I was writing earlier. Yeah, okay, it's not... it'll suck. It'll suck. Estimated right now, it says 4 hours and 22 minutes to get to Bangor, Maine, if I went directly there. So I can see myself driving 4 hours in one day. I don't think I'd like it. And should also point out, I'll be driving much more time than that every day if I'm going to be going across country. 4 hours per day is new. I've been pulling that apart in my head for a while. Like how many hours a day could I reasonably drive to get to where I need to be? And I know we've done the math before. I hate it, but we did it. It would take around 48 hours of driving. That's a long time, right? That's 2 full days of driving. So it'll take the better part of a week just to get there. Wild. That's true, I could. Let me see how that would work. The other plan is I'm supposed to stay near the coast for most of the trip up to Maine. And if I go to Bangor, Maine, I'll peel off that real fast. There is a place I would like to get at some point, so there'll be more times for me to travel to new places, believe me. This is not a one and done. The investment I'm making with the car and the equipment, I'm going to be traveling a lot because I can. Like, I have nothing holding me back at the moment other than myself. But let me get a rough estimate here. To go to where I'm going to stay, supposedly, when I do this big trip. And I want to point out now that the time frame for the trip is still fluctuating. The general estimate at the moment is sometime at the end of August, or it could be in September or a part of October. My friend told me today that she'll be at the camp host till October. So there's plenty of time between now and when I could go. Most of it just relies on doing these little kind of travel things. So getting out, doing stuff, testing the waters, seeing if I can go farther and farther and farther. I would like to do that sort of thing, but again, that's cost. It's not cheap to travel by train. You'd think it would cost less than like a plane. No. And with me, I'd need special accommodations, not only for my mental health, but for just... I'll have to check that. I haven't checked that. But I don't think they're going to be like, oh, you have mental health issues. Here's a private room, you know. And I would need a private room. I couldn't handle being around like that exposed in a crowd. Like just sleeping in a seat, I would freak out. I've done it. We've done that a few times when I was younger, going to Florida. We would drive down to about Virginia, I think, then get the car put on the train, and then have the train take us the rest of the way. So it's been done, but it's cost. And as you guys are basically the support, I don't want to push that. I want everything to be natural. You guys already put a lot of faith and money in my direction, and I greatly appreciate it. And I never want to seem like I'm asking for more. That wouldn't feel right. I wouldn't like that. The hope is to get more people involved, get their support as well, and that will like bump up the cash flow and the support and the ability to do more. That's the kind of that's the idea. Getting more people and more support. And that would be people who want to see what I'm doing. Which again, just being crazy and having these adventures, pushing the limits of my own comfort level. And talking about mental health stuff. Again, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Make sure you like and subscribe. I have a Patreon. I have channel memberships. And of course, there's super chats, mega chats, all that. There are many ways to contribute. So don't worry about that. Again, it's just a matter of getting people interested. And I think people will be more interested when the premise of what I'm doing is fighting against my own mental illness, the depression especially, has kept me down and away and not enjoying things for 20-something odd years. And now that I'm medicated enough, physically well enough, not necessarily 100% mentally okay with all of this, but challenging myself, people like that, to have these experiences. And of course, I've checked with my shrink, or I'm sorry, I've checked with my psychiatrist and my psychiatrist and my therapist. Both of them agree it would be good for me. So I've checked. Don't worry. 1 day and 22 hours, 3,120 miles to get to the destination I'm thinking of for the long trip. So let's do the math. Ew, that's a horrible thing to say. 3,120 miles. I'll do it on my computer so it's easier. 3,120 miles. My car gets about 400 miles a gallon. So we'll divide that by 400. That gives us about 7.8 gallon, or 7.8 full refills of the car. And that, as far as the distance I could drive, that's where I get confused. So 400 miles, that's 7. Yeah, so I definitely have to travel more than 400 miles every day, because that would be a whole week plus just to get there. But now we have to get the freaking days and time. So what? Hold on. 46 hours, give or take. So 46 hours. This is the kind of question they ask in math, aren't they? These are the questions I didn't think I'd ever need. If I'm driving 70 miles an hour, how fast would I need to go to get to the end of the destination? How fast would I need to go to make it 1,000, what did I just say? 3,120 miles. Ugh. Oh, I hate those math questions so bad. Oh, my flashback trauma. Oh, why? Anyway, it's going to take a while, and I'm really worried about the hours because I don't think I could handle driving 8 hours a day. Because I'd have to add on 8 hours of sleep. I'd get 6 maybe. Ideally, I'd get 6. And that's... Wait, here we go. It's 14 hours. Then... Oh, we got 10 more hours in there. I could drive longer than 8. 10 hours a day. Ugh. 10 hours a day, divide that by 2-hour stints, maybe 3. Yeah, so I'd have to stop 2 or 3 times a day, driving 3 hours-ish at a stint. It doesn't count for food. It doesn't account for where I'd stay, where I'd sleep. And one thing I realized, I lost my train of thought. One thing I realized... Yeah. It's not too bad. But it sounds like not much when you're like, oh, it's 48 hours, 45 hours. That's no big deal. That's like 2 days, right? And you think 2 days of just driving. There is the option to just drive nonstop. I've wondered if that would be entertaining, but I also really realize putting myself at risk for anything, no, it's bad. Part of my brain's like, well, let's see how long I could drive and just not stop. See if I can get 12 hours of driving in one day. Let's see what happens. Because that's a good chunk. 12 hours of driving in one day. Restrooms and food, what's that? Sleep? I don't need to do that. Not a good idea. The whole idea is to get there within 5 or 6 days. And then I'd stay there at least a week. and then I'd have to spend 5 or 6 days to get back. So an entire month is going to be involved in this whole thing, which is new. Me spending a whole month of my life just traveling. Huh. Yeah, 9 hours of driving will take about 6 days. So push it to 10. That'd be 1, 2. Well, pushing it into 10, 3-hour stints I feel like would be best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that sounds doable. Will it be doable? I don't know. Because it'd be 3 hours, take a break, restroom, food, whatever. 3 hours, take a break, restroom, food, whatever. And that would all vary. So we're not saying strictly 3 hours. We're saying 3 hours depending on the distance between where I'm going, what I want to do, where I'm going to stay, if I'm going to stay somewhere specific, all that fun stuff. And of course, meeting up with other people. I don't know if I want to set up other things along the way. It couldn't hurt. I mean, it could hurt, really. I could delay things very badly. But like stopping off to feed 4-leaf would be fun. And of course, Whiskey Mountains. Those feel like they should be tied in simply because it could be along the way. And it would give me a nice stop. Like stop with the mayor, enjoy that, but that extra time, I'd only be able to stay there for like a day or less. And that's the hard part, especially when it comes to whiskey. I would not drink and then drive at any point in time. So it would be like get somewhere after driving 10 hours a day, which would be rough. Hanging out with the person, spending the night in the vicinity, not necessarily in their house, but maybe in a hotel or just sleeping in the car again. And then moving out and driving 10 hours the next day. Or, which might be a better idea, straight up drive to get there. Then stay for the week. Or more. Again, that's kind of a variable. Like how long can I really survive cut off from everything? A week, maybe? How long can my friend tolerate being around me? 3 days. Sugar Kitty, meow. Meow. Welcome. Thank you for bringing your time and attention here, as always. It is greatly appreciated. Yeah, I'll get there when I get there. Especially for that time of year, you know. The only catch, if you want to call it that, is in September. That is the Channelversary. So it could be a great thing to do in September because the Channelversary road trip, woo! But then that entire month would be travel. Travel and hanging out with my friend, hopefully, on the other end of that. But it might be a good idea to set some things for the way back. So then I don't have to rush home either. That'd be bad. I never feel like I want to rush from point A to point B, but I do want to have the feeling of pacing. So I want to feel like I have gotten a good amount of time and distance every day. And if I don't do that, I'm going to feel bad. That's one of the main things. But for now, let's focus on Maine and making decisions about where I'm going to go, where I'm going to stay is the big, again, bathrooms are a must, you know? And the easiest way to solve that problem is to be at a rest stop for a night, like just one night. Not even one full night. I can just sleep for 6 hours or less and then just get on the road and go. There are Psalm 3 classes, but again, money. With Papa KillCo laid up in the physical therapy place, with Mama KillCo having to spend so much time and money to stay near him, because she has been having to go up there for weeks at a time and staying at these extended stay hotels, so she can just be there. She can, help him get through every day, and that's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's going away. So big push on November this time around. As long as Papa KillCo is doing better by then, which he will be. But yeah, Mama KillCo's been going through it, so I'm not really thinking about things like that too much. It's in there. Like, there is a Psalm 3 later this year. But the cost of it is the issue, because it costs at least $2,000 to do the whole thing. That's just the class. Granted, great price, because I get to stay on campus. However, the air travel and the car rental and the food is covered for the 2 days that I'm doing the Whiskey Psalm stuff, but I'd be there for about a week, and I would want to, go eat places. So the one horrible thing about travel is you don't travel in that regard. Is the price. And even with me thinking about driving all the way down there, that's a lot of gas, that's a lot of supplies and food and cost, and it's just like, this is where it starts to really get scary for me, to try to figure it all out. So there is a Whiskey Psalm 3, I believe. Let me check. I don't want to give you vague answers. I would like to give you solid answers, because it's something that's in my mind. It's definitely like, oh, I could do that. Here's the thing. I want to get Whiskey Psalm 3, because that's where I'm going to stop, first of all. I'm not going for 4. No. Too much. That's for someone who wanted to do a lot more with that than I do. But I'd like my dad to see me get to Psalm 3. And I'd like that to happen sooner rather than later. Why am I looking up Whiskey Psalm? Wizard Academy. I'm not even looking at my computer. Why? Don't forget, you can become a Whiskey Psalm too. You can become a Whiskey Psalm as well. Saying two throws me off. So let's see. And another important thing to remind yourself of is Wizard Academy is non-profit. So any money that goes there goes into helping them maintain their non-profit status. Part of the reason that Whiskey Vault and Whiskey Tribe had to become 2 different things was because of that. And more importantly, they have a Chapel del Cineo, which is a free wedding venue. Free. You, of course, just have to let them know when you're going to do that. Classes, here we go. All upcoming classes. There are actually, here's the thing, even with Whiskey Psalm 3, getting that done, there will be other classes I want to take at Wizard Academy. That's the other thing to keep in mind. They have a bunch of other classes. They have Edinburgh Whiskey Academy. That's a big one. I'd like to do that. They got a certificate for EWA and Irish whiskey. Didn't know that. Their writing classes, I don't think I could take those. I know the guy who does their writing classes. He's a bit intense. He's good, but it's a bit intense. They have here in July, which I don't recommend going to Texas in July, but July 15th through 16th, or 15th and 16th, they will have World of Whiskey Level 1. So if you are interested in becoming a whiskey sommelier, July 15th and 16th, you have been informed. Let's see. There's Whiskey Psalm 2. Whiskey Psalm 4. What the hell? I know it's in here. Where is it? November. So if I were going to go to Whiskey Psalm Level 3, there's time. It's in November. It will be November 11th and 12th. So it would actually be... Oh, it would be during the actual... My brain just stopped. It would be during Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month, which would be good, actually. That would be a good way to work that in. Help me raise funds in that way. I'd be able to do stuff in the vault. Raising funds that way. Being like, what do you want me to drink, guys? Good luck. That's interesting. I've forgotten it was November. Anything like that is very... The Kalevi financial situation is very different than it was a year ago. And of course, there are a lot of other reasons for that, but to say money is tight always. So this is why I'm pushing more with the channel, and why I'm pushing doing more in general. I feel like the best route I have right now is fighting against my own mental health problems, overcoming obstacles with them, putting myself out there in being in places and situations that I should be enjoying. The actual enjoying them is the hard part. That's all more stuff up here. I don't dive into it too much, but the whole part of my problem is simply not knowing where my emotions really should be. So when I see, like, when I'm in situations and everyone's around me having a good time and I'm not feeling that, it's hard to deal with. Because you see everyone around you having a good time, and I'm just kind of like, I would like to leave. Because I don't feel the same way, which is difficult. You want to feel the same way. You want to enjoy things other people enjoy. But I just don't sometimes. And the other fear is because I have the possibility of manic episodes and letting my emotions get too much and out of control really fast. I gotta hold tight on the reins. You know, I can't have too much fun. I can't enjoy this too much. I'm not sure if I should do that. Ooh, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of awkwardness because of that. I'll dive more into that in the video I'm hoping to make soon. I want to say tonight, but I don't know if I'll do it tonight. I'm going to try to do something. I have ideas trying to let people understand that mental health is more than what it is, more than what you see. Because what you see is you don't see mental health. You don't see the struggles of mental health people. They try to keep it quiet. They don't talk about it much. It makes people uncomfortable. But it doesn't go away. It's just always there. And you're always dealing with it. At least in my case, I'm always dealing with how I'm feeling emotionally. And how much it's affecting me from a day-to-day basis. Today is not too bad. I took a bicycle ride, as I said earlier. I'm worried I might actually get some sun. I didn't put any sunblock on. It was about 3 o'clock. But the UV was supposed to be medium. And I wasn't out for more than 25 minutes. So we'll see. If my ears get burned, I'll be very annoyed. That would hurt. Anyway, coming up to the end of the stream. I hope you enjoy Dry Week with me. Again, it's no change for me, but if you like to participate in Dry Week, please do. Taking a break is pretty good for you. Not only for just letting yourself have a break officially on purpose, but also that taste of whiskey after a dry week. Oh, my taste of whiskey after all this is going to be so sweet. And as I've mentioned before, it's going to be Open 14 because that's the last whiskey I tasted after I stopped. Like, not after. I had that whiskey the next day I found out about my liver concern. Then I stopped. So we're going to have Open 14 hopefully on August 19th, was it? I forget. Maybe it's the 21st. I don't even know the actual day. Like, it's that kind of, it's like, But it's coming up fast. I mean, we're hitting, summer is starting. We may be in May, but summer is officially starting. Yeah, it's a couple months away now. It is. Where is it? I have too many other random things in here. Is it the 21st? Yep. August 21st is when I will find out more about if I'm going to have a drink again. I assume I'd like to think I will, but I'm a pessimist. And I'll have to have some tests done before that day anyway to officially find out. So it won't be like the day of. I'll find out everything. Hopefully before that. But there you have it, folks. As always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And I will see you. I got to get this set up. Remember, travel. I will see you out there. Special thanks to my YouTube members and patrons for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.